Ladies and gentlemen, welcome as we slide into the last day of week 1 here of ESL Pro League Season 8. It's been a blast so far, and it is only going to get better live from the Intel Esports Arena, where memories are made and SEO sits very pretty.
Yeah, that's probably half
Lovely.
true. There are some dreams being made, however, not so pretty.
No.
But yeah, so we've had some good games. I mean, yesterday, Space Hulls Astralis, phenomenal game.
That was a great matchup.
Like, absolutely crazy double or triple overtime, and then another overtime. Crazy scenes. I mean, Stream A were quite jealous, I heard.
Apparently so, because it was such a great game. If you missed it, it did go all the way to a third overtime. And Space Soldiers, they had a great day across the board, Ben.
Yeah, it was quite interesting because they started that first day against NIP, they destroyed them, and we were wondering how good are they actually going to be this season. And they started so well against Astralis. They'll probably be a bit annoyed that they didn't get all 6 points, if I'm honest. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, to get 3 points from Astralis, that's pretty solid getting that.
Let's actually have a look at the results across the board, because Space Soldiers, they ended up playing 2 games yesterday, and the games they played, they actually walked away with a fair amount of points. They took on Mouse Sports and Astralis, probably 2 of the top teams when you think of current placements. Obviously the winners of the Major and Istanbul, and the winners of New York there in Mouse Sports. So definitely some stacked teams, Ben.
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously Astralis, #1 in the world by a long margin right now. Mouse Sports, 4th, I believe. So they get 6 points out of 12. Phenomenal feat right there. And on the other side of everything, you consider G2 and FaZe. They both played 4 maps yesterday. They only won 1 each. And technically that was them trading against each other. Otherwise they got destroyed in both their matchups against Astralis and Mouse Sports respectively. And we're going to be seeing FaZe today as well, aren't we? We've got 4 matches from them.
That is very true. If we move on to the standings to see how that affected things overall, because nearly every team has now played a match. The only one that hasn't is Na'Vi, as they still haven't scheduled any games yet. It'll be interesting to see how things get shaped up once they start playing. But for now, here's how it looks, Ben. And it's actually quite surprising if we gaze towards the bottom of the standings, isn't it?
Yeah, you consider, as you mentioned, we can ignore Na'Vi for now. But that bottom 4, Fnatic, G2, FaZe and NIP. 3 of those teams went to the finals last season. G2, the only one who didn't actually, in fact, and they've not looked great, and especially as you consider, we mentioned Oslo, tweeting about them being disappointing and everything. And there was a report that came out today that they'd signed new contracts until 2020 as well. So that's quite surprising, but the only person who did not was Kenny, and he's potentially leaving on a free in February in that case as well.
And that's quite worrying, because obviously February, that's around Major time, Ben. So that means Kenny might be looking to possibly rehome if things don't start to get better for G2. And they did get a win yesterday. They took a map off FaZe, but what more can they get? I mean, that's 1 win in many. Yeah,
1 win from 4. The bit that they can think about is we've only played Mouse and FaZe so far. Those are 2 teams which will most likely be going to finals next season, or this season rather. So it's not the worst teams to lose out on. Like, you get 3 points, fine, you at least got something. But the fact that to get that 3 points, they needed Kenny to get 30 kills in a regulation game. It's a big ask, because he didn't look great yesterday.
No, he was struggling, a very early start for him, so hopefully things can improve, but that is how things stand currently. We'll now move on to the games we have coming up today, as we'll take a look at the schedule here on the B stream and the A stream, as we have a pretty an interesting one. Obviously, to kick it off, it's G2 versus Heroic, and that first map could be a bit of a kick in the teeth for him, Ben.
Yeah, Heroic yesterday, I found myself being a bit confused at what they were doing at times, and hopefully they've looked at that game and actually changed things up a bit, because they looked lost. And G2, they don't shy away from Dust2. It's one of the maps that they do like to play. They beat Hellraisers at the Major in double overtime on it. So it's one of their stronger maps. Existence, he's always loved that map in every iteration of CS.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a bit of a worry for them. And Inferno, that's the map they won against FaZe too. So Heroic, it's a big game for them really, when you consider that technically they've got the most games played so far in Pro League, and they're not even first, second, or third. They're sitting pretty in the top half, but it's not great.
No, and they struggled quite majorly versus Windigo, the second team we're going to be seeing that face off against FaZe. FaZe have a double bill of games here on the B stream versus opponents they should be beating. However, form hasn't looked great for FaZe, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, you just consider, like, before Pro League started, we saw the interview with Nico saying, "I'm going to be calling now. Yeah. Carrigan will not be." You just start to wonder, why is he in the team in that case? Like, Carrigan is a world-class IGL, yet you're not using him in the role that he shines in, really. Nico taking potentially some star power from himself doing this, and we've seen how that works out. Shox has done it many times. Their play decreases and, like, the skill level goes down a lot. Snacks did the same for VP. He looked like a shadow of himself.
Yeah, it's true. And Nico, he's one of those players that needs that room to roam. Obviously, he's a star player. It's all about that impact fragging that he brings to the table. Without Carrigan as the IGL, things could be a little bit messy for him. But that is what's going on later on today. First of all, it will be G2 versus Heroic. Now, for Heroic, Ben, it was such a shaky affair versus Wendigo. It seemed like it took so much for him to wake up. And when they actually took train on the second map of the best of 3, that was coming down to a millisecond clutch as well. It wasn't really dominant rounds. It was very much down to the wire.
It was essentially them just losing control of the game as the longer it went on, right? They were 15-12 up, and I mentioned it when it was 15. I was like, this could potentially go into overtime because one round the money's gone, and it was. You know, Wendigo, they forced it into that situation, and then Moddy, thankfully waking up in overtime, he gets that defused with literally probably about a millisecond or so difference between Bubble actually getting the kill. So they got bailed out, if I'm honest, but it's still not a great situation to be in. No,
it wasn't ideal. Only things for G2, obviously, talking about the contract point that now comes through, we know they are looking to try stick together as a roster up until at least 2020, but the Kenny S factor is the one that's a little bit up in the air because we don't know what is going to go on with that and how well they're going to gel. And there's still a ton of pressure. Ocelot obviously hoping the roster does well, but he's still there being very vocal about how he feels the team's doing, and that's quite worrying. Obviously, that does put a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
I think the weird bit is, like, in that report they mentioned that the players took lower salaries, but obviously that job security by saying you are contracted until 2020. As a player, some people feel like you need to have that job security as a player. It's a dodgy situation. You could suddenly be just cut instantly. Yeah. Some teams, they give you 6-month contracts, and then you know, it's getting close to the end of that contract. You're just like, am I going to be re-signed? There's no negotiations yet. But Kenny, he clearly sees a lot of value in himself that he feels like he shouldn't have to force himself into a lower salary, even though it's a bit long. He knows he can probably get another position somewhere else. So if G2 do not improve in the next few months, he could be on the way out.
Yeah, and it feels like that would be an individual issue as well, where he would want to look for possibly a newer home to move into. Definitely something that could become quite an interesting standpoint unless things improve for G2 as the days go by. And this would be a matchup where you feel like they should be able to get a couple of points on the board as well. In theory, they have been looking a little bit better, but there's a lot of questions. There's still a lineup that feels like they haven't really proven what they can bring to the table, but for Heroic, a little bit of turmoil. So maybe this is a good time for them to try and get an upset.
Yeah, I mean, G2 as a lineup, you know, you still feel like there's a lack of firepower. You could argue it's because Kenny's not playing as great as he should. Shock's still trying to get into it. Right? He had that wrist injury, not long ago now, and they're not quite getting to that same level they used to be. Body, he's hit and miss. Smiths and Existence, they haven't been playing well either. Even Existence, when it comes to actually, IGLing, his calls have not been good. If I'm honest, everybody praises him. That's his one big thing. He's phenomenal at calling, preparation, everything like that. They've not been that good. It's just not good enough.
Well, the thing is, Ben, if he signed a new contract, I reckon he should change his contract to Vodafone. That'd help him with his calls. Perfect signal every time.
It would be a good idea. But Existence, as you can tell, he signed with someone else.
He has, indeed.
Poor move.
Yeah, it's not gone well for him. Let's have a look at the odds as well and see how that actually affects this game when we get into it, Ben.
Yeah, those odds, I guess, you might reflect on, that Wendigo performance against on Dust2 for Heroic. It probably does come a big toll into this, right? G2, the recent form isn't good for them. Heroic, it's been shaky. But clearly on paper, the odds do favour G2. And I'm not too surprised. As I mentioned, G2 is one of the, Dust2, it's one of their maps that they love to play. Existence, he loves this map. Calling on it, he seems to be a lot more comfortable. So I wouldn't be surprised if G2 did take it, but I think it's going to be a bit of a scrap.
I think so too. I reckon this one could go down to the wire really between these two sides. And it just depends on how Heroic look when we actually do get into the game, because when we saw them on Dust2 versus Wendigo, it was very sloppy. Lots of mistakes. They left themselves in positions where they had about 10 seconds to make a decision, and they still didn't know where they wanted to go. That entire matchup just looked like it was all over the place. And how much can they turn that around going into today's games? What have they been able to adjust is the question, really.
The thing is, there was that one round that I was really boggled by when they had the bomb at mid with 10 seconds left. It's just like, you clearly don't have a clue what you're doing. But there was the other one which probably made a bigger point in the match. It was a big turning point. When it was a 1v3 for Blocker, he kills Moddy, who's shooting him from the back, but Mertz drops down thinking this round is probably won already. Yeah. He gives him another 1v1, and the S retag he can't complete the round either. It was a 1v3, and that probably would have turned the tides. The CT economy is fragile. You take one round, you can reset them instantly. Yet they gave Blocker a chance, and he took it. He ran with it. I think that was at 4-4. They won the half 11-4. Yeah. Like, that's a complete turning point for the entire game, and Heroic, they've not looked good enough, and I'm not too sure if they've had enough time to actually adjust from that.
Yeah, that's true. And that is one of those plays where you sort of got to question what was Mert's thought process there. Obviously thinking the round was already won, goes for a bold play, but against a player like Blocker, who has been very, very effective. I mean, he's been looking amazing for the Bulgarians so far in this season of Pro League, hitting some crisp shots and looking like he's just got so much confidence to go in for those sort of clutch rounds. And they gave him an opportunity and he ran with it.
Yeah, it was a really odd decision. I can only assume he thought the round was basically won. And despite doing so, you'd at least think, you know, you start calling, I messed up, I've dropped onto this box, try and help me. But that's the reason I kind of left him to die. It was quite bizarre. But hopefully, they've had, what, I guess 12 to 16 hours to fix some of the issues they had, whether it was comms or in-game. Hopefully they have done so and they can perform it a bit differently this game.
Well, it seems that we are ready to get underway with the game. G2 versus Heroic. We're going to dive into the action and kick this one off, Ben. First map is Dust2, and then we'll be moving on to Inferno. There's 6 points up for grabs. Who is going to be netting them?
So Freiburg has just done that Xbox move from T-Spawn, which I imagine does forecast that there will be a push towards short here from Heroic. But the question is, what is Asilian going to be doing with his flash springs? I imagine he's going to flash the corner for them to push up short here. One flash around the corner, and they do get control, but there is 3 players towards this A side for G2. And they've only got a single flash and a Molotov to take it. Kenny can be in a spot of bother here. Kenny.
They try and get forced off as they land the Molotov and the tags come through. This is better. A very early burst from Heroic. They're able to slide out to the site. Modi gets a double kill. And this is what we want to see as well, Ben. Modi popping off early bodes well for Heroic. He's much needed to actually perform in the early rounds to give himself a consistent game. We've seen that. It's almost as if it's like a little confidence boost for him.
Yeah, a lot of players have that issue where if they don't get some early kills, they struggle to get going in the game. And here's a very good start, as mentioned. This round is basically lost for G2 unless Smiths can get multiple kills in quick succession, and he doesn't get the option to even do it. Freiburg will hold the exit. And Existence, I'm not too sure if he'll be able to get out here. He's got a kit and no armor.
Yeah, Existence goes down to Asilian as they all exit. Smith should stay alive. There's no reason why anyone will hunt him and try and find him, so he can actually just hold for the meantime. The bomb blast will do a little bit of damage to his armor, but other than that, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a big loss though, if you consider that you had that option of potentially getting the helmet at 350.
Yeah.
So it does mean he'd have to spend 1,000 if he wants the full head armor. But because of getting that kill though, he'd potentially get a scout with his actual armor. Kenny not being able to afford it. Potentially a switch up could be done there after the peak here at mid. So that scout buy does come through, and Mertz does the same on the opposite side. So not too much of a surprise there, but look at this stack towards long, they're ready to fight. A flash will come through after the smoke lands in. Heroic, no, there's no point fighting this. No. If you remember against Wendigo, they did lose the second round after winning the pistol. They all ended up panicking a bit. They got a kill towards mid, and then they went short, and there was just too many people to fight.
Well, they were taking lots of unnecessary firefights there, especially towards long. They were bounding out, and they were actually giving those pistols an opportunity versus Wendigo. That was what was causing the upset rounds, is they were just running into those pistols. Close range versus a CZ or a 5.7, it's an easy tag to come through.
And they're going up short again, but there's a lot more of a spread here from Heroic. So yesterday, Wendigo, they had a player towards mid with a scout. The same thing's happening for G2 here. Smith, he's spotting towards that catwalk sort of area, looking around mid, seeing if he can get anything going. And he'll be able to give some info to his team. And he's taking a hit there, and another one as well. Mertz is winning that battle very, very easily, but Smith is still battling. Ever confident despite taking a lot of hits very, very early. But Heroic, it looks like they're just resorting to the same play again. Towards short, and Existence has cleared out tunnels too. They know it's going to be an A play unless they go through mid B here. And it does look like that's the call as well. Very unfortunate for G2. I mean, Existence might be able to catch Modi off, depending on what he's doing, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Instead, he's going to go back towards tunnels, but this bomb site is free. And I can't see G2 even trying to take this one.
Modi should cut off this rotate around as well as Body. If he pushes out, it'll go down instantly. He realizes this and will just hold for the meantime. Obviously, only 32 HP. 5.7 a stationary angle. If he gets the drop on him, maybe it's a free frag. Doubt Modi will actually push in, though. Looks like he just wants to hold. Heroic trying not to throw away any weapons here. And they're actually picking up the frags as well. Kenny S and Existence will both go down. So it's an extra bit of money going through to Estetag. And it should be a second round for Heroic. Nicely played if they get through with a flawless round, Ben.
Yeah, much slower pace from them. Like, I mentioned they were quite rushed that last time we saw them.
It's very jittery.
Yeah, they got the one kill and then they just went, okay, let's go. There was no clear patience. They didn't think, what about if we just slow it down? It's easy to have to think about everything. And instead, as you mentioned, 2 players stay alive, Smiths and Body. Both keep the armor, but they also keep that scout in play, which could be a big factor into this round.
Oh, scout towards mid. Spots it, actually does get the tag on Existence as well, tries to get a little bit more. There's the leg on Smiths. This has not started well for G2. Not only have they got the read and know they're in lower, so Freiburg can go for the play. Actually gets a little bit overzealous as the 5-7 from Body will dome him.
But unfortunately for G2, they sent nobody actually into the B site, and Modi, he might get the drop on Smiths here, depending on the timing. Kenny, a bit aggro there, going close to that fire, takes a few digs, but as I mentioned, Modi gets the drop on Smiths. That's one of the armors gone. Body had the previous one, he's already dead as well. Another free round for Heroic, if I'm honest. They did it kind of, if you remember the old Mo strat, that mid with a scout, and then the players rushed to
Everyone
mid.
pushes up, yeah.
Yeah, but Smiths, he was losing that battle.
That's the thing, you can go for it, but you need the scout player to at least get the opening tag, or a pick, preferably, because then everyone can just rush up. Especially if they've got a scout as well. If they all push through, they just should have been spammed down by it. So, didn't work out too well for them with what they had in mind. And that will be all 3 rounds picked up by Heroic as they convert them off the back of the pistol round win. G2 will finally be able to invest.
Yeah, so Kenny, he's kept his money at a high enough amount where he can potentially get the AWP in, but he might be able to get the drop on Modi here, I was going to say, but Modi doesn't even look that way. S3 was ready for that. Shock's got the 1 kill towards T-Spot. I guess we're swiping with 3 8Ks, that's perfectly fine. So we should see Kenny come out with an AWP by here. And there it is, no armor, a single smoke. And then it should be rifles surrounding him. I'd like to see Shocks give his deagle to Kenny just in case he needs it as a sidearm, but he's not going to do that this time. So just consider all across the map, Existence and Smiths are your B-side players.
Yeah.
The firepower on that side of the map is very low.
That's the thing, if they realise there was a weakness towards B like that, they might actually try and hit it. Ooh, Existence with the opening frag, however, but there is a flick back around. This tag is low, but he still gets the kill. And now they're just going to swarm, so Smiths has to be ready for it with the M4. Mertz had all the time in the world to just try and crouch and line up the shot before he was punished, but Modi will trade it back then. And it is a 3-on-3. It's a retake, but the bomb is only just going down.
There's no kit in play unless there was one on the B-side players. Smoke comes in, that'll cover the tunnels. Freiburg, he's going to have to join his team at some point. He's going to wait for that smoke. He'll sit in it. As soon as the burst comes through with the flashes from G2, he will then probably push out and try and aid his team. In fact, the smoke missed. That's even worse for G2. The flash is going to come through. Freiburg doesn't even have anything blocking him there.
No, he's just allowed to hold the angle, play exactly how he wants to into this one. They might kill Modi, but they still need to take down 2 more men. They trade it back. Eliminate S attack. Freiburg knows the smoke's there, and he's debating whether or not if he should push through. They're defusing the bomb. He needs to try and get the spam out. Can't connect. Body will kill him, and they stick on it. That's the defuse that comes through, so G2 will pick up the round. Nicely played, considering they didn't have the kit. They missed the smoke. It was looking very awkward, but they kept their composure, and they secure the double AWP as well, so we could see actually Smiths and Kenny picking that up. So Smiths probably more of that defensive AWP into this one.
I have to say, Freiburg, as soon as he sees that smoke miss, he should have been playing so much more aggressively. Like, you saw him get that free tag on the player that pushed the window, and then he just held back. He let the player at car just die with no reason whatsoever. The long take coming through, the AWP is on the corner, they're actually risking going out from it. He gets him through the corner of the wall. Astra's are going to probably give that back towards Mertz. See, then the trade will come through, so damage dealt to both players that did peek towards long, but as a CT you're probably thinking that's fine. They took a lot of flashes trying to take long there, and we've actually got it back. And instead of committing to playing long, it looks like they're going to go towards short. So thinking back to the game against Hellraisers for G2, so I mentioned Smiths and Existence were quite a weak comparison when you look at the sides. In that Hellraisers game, Smiths was on CT side, dropping about 20 kills in the first half. He was one of the big players in that game. So clearly a bit more comfortable, I suppose, on this map, especially, you know, if you think back to CSS, he was incredible at this with an AWP as well. So the long take's going to come through from Heroic. And as I mentioned, G2, they're not even playing it now. They gave it up, they know they don't need to force this. And Body's got the AWP because of having low health points, so Kenny's forced to rifle, which, not the best thing in the world, but because of the situation they're in, that's what they resort to. And that's not a good start. Playing as if he has an AWP by looks of things. Loses that fight.
It's an early pick that comes through. Body now left on 20 HP with the AWP on short as well as he tries to hold it. It's a little bit awkward and the push comes through. They're all just storming up. They're taking that long control commandingly as they're going to get into position. Asilian moves up by car. They are blind and Existence goes for a very bold play. The confidence ball will not pay off and Shocks, luckily enough.
It's 10 seconds. They need to force the plan. Shocks will see that. He needs to push in if he wants to try and save this round.
Oh, he does go through. Ben gets the initial headshot there as he trades it over back onto Asilian. It's a 3-on-2, but Tag on the site is looking amazing. It's already a hat-trick of kills found from into the round. Smiths just needs to save, and that's it secured, really. This rifle round will go the way of Heroic, and it has not gone well. Smiths unable to save the AWP. Modi takes him down. And that is 4 rounds now picked up, and the economy of G2 looking pretty lackluster.
Yeah, not a good situation on Body. He had that AWP. He was unable to land a single shot there, missing a lot of bullets, even on the player when he peeked up. Tag, he was able to just get another 5 seconds, chance to just take the fight again. But I've got to wonder, what was Existence actually thinking? You know, he jumped straight through. And that same lower push is going to come through as well. Existence and Body. They got a single kill loss when they did this. But there's a lot more firepower in their way here.
Ooh. Smith gets one with a deagle. Is traded back upon by Tag, and it is a 3 versus 4 now. 1:25 left on the clock as the push comes around. Looks like they're going to try and weave their way through lower and take the fight towards upper, but Mertz cuts it off. He's still sitting suicide and finds vision there, connects the shot on Kenny S, and everyone's going down. So they've only been able to get the 1 frag on Modis. They can't really even make this round that expensive for Heroic.
Yeah, Heroic, they're in a very good position. It's that T-side money. It's so easy to build it up. Especially when you compare it to CT side. All the grenades, I mean, the Molotov difference is only $200 on its own. And the AK cheaper as well. It's just a matter of time here. Shocks, he's on his own for this site. I don't really think he'll be able to get anything done. The smoke's covered the entrance. They're probably going to try this boost. So this is the boost we saw Heroic try and do yesterday. And instead of repositioning to get it perfect, they simply just didn't go for it. Private, he was ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, Shocks looks like he had the angle there. Luckily enough, Body's going to be able to at least punish one man as he gets the frag with a Mac 10 to get some returns for it. And he still keeps going. The 5-7 as well nearly kills Mertz before he's eliminated by a sidearm in the Glock there. So Heroic, they do pick up the 5th. But they take a couple of hits, but it's still not that bad.
I'm surprised Body was able to get that far into the round. I mean, if he had another 5 bullets, he probably kills Mertz there. But chances are he was going to be instantly traded. There's going to be no chance for him. 5-1 already. It's a much better start from Heroic compared to yesterday. There's more T rounds than they actually got in total. Fast mid to B though is going to come through. There is 2 players here. So if they get challenged, it might be a decent situation for G2 to be in.
Asilian. Flashbang over. Looks like he just wants to try and go for the early clear towards mid. The 2 players there, one boosted up on top of the box. The headshot angle, it's going to be a little bit awkward to connect that shot, but they just face it. Kenny S with a CZ does get the trade. And Existence doubles down as well. Actually connects the P250 shot on Tag, but through the wall there's a nice pickup there by Mertz. He has the AWP, and he's just been sitting in T-spawn this entire time, holding from suicide.
I was about to say Shocks, he might have been able to get the timing there, but thankfully Modi covers their backs. And that was a classic situation there, like at the bottom mid, where on an eco run for the CTs, you want to try and cause as much anarchy in that T's setup as possible. Right? They were taking fights from loads of different angles. They weren't able to just single out a single opposition. And Kenny's got a Mac 10 here, so this actually, he can potentially get a kill as they push onto the site, but as soon as he's put that smoke down, it basically guarantees that he's probably playing close and gets tagged there too. Although Existence does have an AK, it's a bit scary for Heroic.
Yes. No chance to do anything. Mertz will find him with the AWP, and it is all up to Existence. He does hear the bomb starting to go down, but Mertz looking very effective with the AWP right now. Another frag that will come through as he pops the head off Existence, and they have brought themselves up to 6 rounds. This has to be the first pause now coming out for G2.
Definitely has to be, doesn't it? I mean, 6-1 down. That's typically the scoreline you think. Well,
yeah.
We need to talk about things a bit. They won that first buy, but technically that just messed them up a bit more, really, because the money reset fully. And I imagine they're just kind of debating, does Smiths need the second AWP, or do we want a rifle and try and be really proactive on that B site, right? We've seen them push upper and lower really often. And if I'm honest, that's been working for them. Like, you know, they've been getting a kill here and there when they've done that on eco rounds. And you can see that. The rifle buy comes in. So Smiths able to get full grenades towards B. It's full grenades pretty much across the board other than shocks. Question is, what are they going to do out of this pause? Heroic might just try and do something quickly to try and catch them out if there is a change, and that tag does not help things. They use 2 HE grenades across that door.
Modi already out into long, dives into pit, but Shoxy detects him and finds the frag back. S-Attack will be able to punish Body, however. Ooh, Shox. Very nice play here towards long. He's been able to pick up 3 kills before he's taken down. Eventually will fall to Freiberg as he extends around with the AK. But it is still a 2 versus 3. And Mertz is alive. Mertz has been on good form with the AWP into this match so far.
They do have a Molotov here as well. Kenny does have a smoke. And he does get tagged. That Molotov might just kill him on the first blow. He's already thrown the smoke. The Molotov is still there!
Oh.
He threw the smoke way too early, and he was trying to make sure there was no tag whatsoever. But unfortunately, the Molotov went further than he expected.
It's unfortunate. Now it falls back into a 2-on-2 existence. Just trying to play this angle, focusing towards short, expecting maybe there might be another player coming from a different position, but they're going for that run boost. They're going to launch him across, clears, and gets on site now as he plays on the close angle. There is a backstab coming around. Smiths, it depends on the timing, but Freiberg has the angle. He does lose the fight, however. Mertz is still favoured if he can get that first shot off. If they give him 1v1s, he can win this.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he's been playing really well so far. There's no kit on these CTs, though. There's a Molotov on Smith, and he's repositioning, going towards short now. But he might get caught off. He might just have his Molotov out instantly. They don't know where the Mertz is actually gone. It's a very slow play, though. Smith does get the drop on it. He doesn't kill him!
Mertz finds the flick, somehow adjusts, and gets that kill. Ben, sure, he's low, but he's still the one I want in existence. Has no nades, he just has to spam it. And luckily, he picks it up. He's going to jump on the bomb, but he has no kit. That's the round done. He can save the AWP if he's lucky, but he's fumbling, Ben. That bomb could kill him.
I can't believe Smith has not got the kill. Mertz was not looking at him. He could have just headshot him. And he fumbles entirely. Mertz wins that round. And if I was, he wasn't the one who won the round. Smith's lost the round.
Yeah, Smith should have got that frag. He was looking nowhere towards him, just sitting, focused on the box. Somehow he doesn't find it. I mean, in reality, the only way he should have gone down is if he walked out without his nade, with a nade out, and he had the angle covered. But he wasn't even holding it, and he still found the flick.
Oh, he's tagged him through the first door. They waited so long to cross the doors that Mertz was like, I'm going to spam the first one. And he gets the kill in existence too. Kenny's low, and they're pushing into B. Smith's going to be challenged.
Where was this Mertz yesterday versus Wendigo?
That is a good question. I'm not too sure. Bubble was, Bubble had 27 kills.
He was out AWPing him every time. And Mertz now looking like the star AWP on the site, still getting tags towards mid. That's 1 kill and 2 tags into the round already. And he's literally just been sitting in T-spawn. This is like classic Dust2 AWPing.
I was going to say the classic Sliggy,
yeah,
isn't it?
It is.
That's what Sliggy always did.
He would just stay in T-spawn for the entire round, and it would work. Because as people cross or once they start to push you, you're set up for it. You've got such a good race. He still gets the headshot. That's
outrageous.
How did he even hit that?
It was like, what, milliseconds difference between him actually getting the kill and dying there.
That's just ridiculous.
I suppose the confidence is high, isn't it? He got those 3 kills on that buy run when they were pushing into site. He won that clutch. The shot he landed on Smith, it was an outrageous one, to be fair.
Yeah.
And this round again, you won't know that he's tagged these 2 players until after the game. But 2 kills and that flick shot at the end there, confidence is flowing. Heroic didn't actually get the AWP there, I don't think, either. Unless it's on the floor. I guess it's on the floor, considering that hasn't actually bought himself yet. There we go. That's him up on the floor. So he's being a real presence towards mid. So just sitting in the spawn, getting those tags off when needed. He was a bit late to that tag there. But this is different. G2 boosting short. Smith is playing, or Shox is playing close to the doors. They're crunching towards mid here. Oh, that nade. A lot of damage. Existence going to push up short soon. But that mid smoke has kind of delayed them. They can't do it now. So look how much grenades they've used. Shox and Existence, they both had that same plan in mind. They were going to crunch that mid take. They've used everything. And all they got for it was a bit of damage and just delaying Heroic, essentially. They're walking straight through it. They're boosted! 4 Kings boost.
Yeah, they're bringing it back, Ben.
I do like to see that.
Can you still use that to peek onto short over the smoke?
Yeah, the catwalk.
Yeah.
And that's what they were watching towards, which, lucky for them that Heroic did walk through the smoke, I suppose. Because any other instance, a flash would have got both of them.
Yeah.
So 2v4, one of the better looking rounds for G2, really. But it's not quite done yet. Mertz is still alive and he's been having a great game.
Will they clear this, though? Shocks. If they give him an opportunity, he will run away with it. They're not actually going to go through. They're going to try and take that short control. Shocks will be listening out, trying to get any information he can for this. And Kenny has the angle.
So he does delay the push with that Molotov. He's still the only player here, though. He does have backup from body at long, but that's a bit too far away. They're going to run boost again. Or they're boosting just over the corner to try and get the peak. Kenny, he's too close to that corner towards crossover, and the push has to come. There's 15 seconds left.
Ooh, Mertz, he can't win that one. Kenny already had the angle, so it favours him. And Modi trying to punish back with the AK. No real chance. Caught out in a bit of an awkward position. Will be slain by Kenny S. And that takes it 8-2 now. As G2 finally pick up a second round, Ben.
It's all on good picking up the rounds, though, but this is the bigger one. You can see the money on Heroic side. It's not great. They had that round where they had nobody alive despite winning. So G2, if they win this one, they could potentially put themselves in a good position to end this half. See Modi, 11 life a bit there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he is. And this is what's crazy as well. It's
Look
just
at the
how
mid push.
different this game can be when Mertz is performing well with the AWP. Because even if he's not getting frags, he's been tagging so many people that they're so low. When you get into a site, it's just that much easier. HEs can just blow people out of the way. Molotovs instantly become even more beneficial. And a single tap from the AK, even if you miss the headshot. I mean, what, 2 shots into the chest, they're dead.
Don't forget the morale bit of it, right? As a CT, you keep getting tagged.
Yeah.
Starts playing, it just gets a bit
Oh,
annoying.
it's frustrating.
You're just like, again, like he's tagged me again. We double naded that door.
It's also the frustration because you're like, he's still T-spawn. And
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. You can't counter it. I mean, Kenny could try and take the fight, but there's no reason to. You're not going to win it. I mean, Mertz has been so effective. And it also feels so much harder as well towards mid-AWPing now, since the changes, to actually get that shot off towards T-spawn. It's easier from T-spawn down to CT.
Mertz did have a gap through that smoke there. Body, you know, looking at the wall, like that went right past my head.
Yeah.
So Heroic did their full long take, they covered the smokes. But Modi, he was holding for that push in tunnel. I mentioned that Existence and Smiths originally were being so aggressive towards tunnel. They were getting a kill every here, like now and then. But this time, they don't even get the kill. They don't trade it even. G2 have 2 players towards the side. 25 seconds left. Body still has a Molotov. Existence still has a Molotov as well. This could be quite good for them.
Body on site with the AK. What can he actually achieve, though, as Freiburg gets the opening headshot. Freiburg a double kill, and Body hasn't been able to contest against this. They're literally right on top of him. The smoke's going to fade. They're going to realise, but he only gets 1. And Freiburg still continues on his warpath.
The plant will come in time for Shocks 1v3. Big ass. And Freiburg again. I can't believe that Freiburg is allowed to jump on that box and get 2 kills.
No.
Like, the fact that the CTs were even peeking. Like, there was no need to. Body is the big player there. He was sat in that smoke. He was always going to stop that plant when it came in.
And this is actually so much better as well for Heroic. Everyone pretty close to having the same amount of frags there. Mertz on 10. You got 9 and 9 for Freiburg and Esther tag. Modi on 8. Asilian's the only one that's a little bit underperforming, but you don't really expect him to be popping off majorly. It's not a role that he should be carrying through.
The Molotovs come through. Nobody's put it out yet until quite late.
So Freiburg and Modi take damage. Modi does die. Freiburg, you look into the priority, he gets spotted then. They've walked into the site. Luckily, Esatag was on the scene to deal with it as he does get a double down, but Smith trades. And it is into a 2 versus 3. And this site is keeping them back, especially when Mertz misses a shot.
I said Smiths was a dangerous player on that B site on the CT side. 4 kills on the rush. Not even a touch of damage on him either. None of the players actually even got a chance to shoot back at him. And Body should get the drop. There we go. A good round from G2. They were sitting on reset territory. But they've given them a lifeline again. You know, this half, it's 9-3 in Heroic's favour, but if they win this round, it could swing to 9-6. I can only imagine this Heroic pausing. Just look at the cash on their side, right? You've got 3 players on less than 3k.
Yeah, they have to work out how they're going to use this cash. Mertz already goes for the instant money. Oh, fair enough. I mean, he's been very effective with it. You might as well keep it out.
And the question is with Esrito, right? He can drop an AK, but it will limit his own buy quite a bit. I imagine he'll give an AK to Freiburg. There we go. So AK on Esrito, and Freiburg can get full grenades too. So the buy's not fantastic, but you still have that firepower at 2 AKs and an AWP. You can do plenty of work with that.
They've done well to actually get that many smokes out as well, so it's not too bad. I mean, you've got 5 smokes, a good handful of flashbangs. Can they get these early tags this round? Actually, they're going to switch up a little bit. Mertz looking like he might try and take the fight for a fast pick towards long. Will he get it, though? As he does go for the initial face, Ben. They blind them, but he doesn't get anything from it.
Yeah, he ended up having to sit in the Molotov, and that plays on your mind a bit. You sit in the Molotov, you're just like, they need to peek, they need to peek. I can't hold for this long, I have to go. So instead of getting the pick towards long, though, they've instantly gone, right, let's take a short, they were fighting it. And Mertz wins the fight at long.
Oh,
and he gets
Mertz
body
with
as
a
well!
double. That's absolutely crazy. Now his entire team swarm out. He's got the first pick, so they know they can just bombard out through short, and the CTs are going to be in panic, which they are. They take the site control, and the last 2 CTs have to save. I mean, that's the round. Round 13 goes the way of Heroic. That should now be a 10-3 scoreline. And Existence and Smiths, they might actually get punished by this. Modi, he's only got a CZ. He can try and test his luck if he wants to.
Yeah, the question is it really worth it, right? Like, you consider the CT economy quite weak.
Yeah.
Both teams' economy is quite weak.
Well, they're both fragile, yeah.
Yeah. So Heroic, they got me thinking, we get 3,500 for this round win, due to it being a bomb explosion, assuming that they don't kill them in the next 15 seconds. They'll have to drop 1 for Freiburg, which I imagine S3 will do the same thing again. But on the G2 side, you're guaranteed to have no AWP. You've got good utility toward the B site, but the A side has been the issue. B side, we saw how it went when Heroic went there. Smith killed 4 of them.
Yeah.
And even that first buy round we saw, Existence and Smith, they both got a kill each, and the retake came in and it was perfectly fine. So ideally, you might want to see a switch up. We have seen in the last few rounds that Shox has been doing the same role Existence started off doing on the CT side. But it's not really helped towards the A. Existence might have just, he's had enough, just going, right, I'm going to go towards A side, what's happening? And the fast short comes through, and he's already rotating. You see him there, he did cross, he's like, okay, they smoked me, they're probably going short. I'm going to commit to this, you guys don't have much firepower. I'll bring an extra M4 over. And instead he just uses all of his utility essentially towards short. That's good. And another one. Guarantees that 2 players are one-shot headshots now.
Yeah. It's a big tag. Does make their lives easier as the push comes round, and they need any extra edge they can get as well. As the buy is weaker for G2, their arsenal is nowhere near as strong.
So we saw them do a short execute yesterday, and it was pretty successful, if I'm honest. It was that round where Mertz messed up. So you can see them lining up with the smokes now. Freiburg asking questions by looks things to his team, which smoke he's actually going to do. They've got 2 smokes that go from the same spot. That's quite unusual. Take comes through, got 2 players on the side, a scout and a CZ. It's not great.
Well, Freiburg gets tagged early, but the frags are going majorly in favor of G2 right now. It's looking very good. They do manage to get the kill on Kenny S. And Body just going for the jump scout, looking to try and find the frags if he can. Doesn't connect it just yet. The backstab from Modi, but he misses the kill. And Smiths will trade it. And it is only 2 Ts that are left alive into this round. They've given G2 an opportunity, and they have run away with it with open arms. Oh.
I was going to say, it's just a matter of time until Body actually does go for a jump scout. And that's a huge kill. Body, he's had a great round this round. A lot of damage, 2 kills. That's a 4th round for G2. Honestly, this last round of the half, G2 in a good spot to take it.
Yeah, they should go 10-5 now because of that.
With the money on Heroic, you'll have a few okay buys coming out, but you've got people like Modi, he's only got 1,500. He'll have to go CZ. Mertz stuck to a scout now. He's been so predominant with that AWP. There's 4 players going towards B. I'm surprised this is considered to be a plan from them. For Smiths, he's been playing well. Essentially saving, that round he had earlier on Mertz where he just failed the spray and technically lost the round. So it does look like Heroic. They're committing hard towards this B side of the map, right? And G2, using their utility so early, they used a Molotov at the start, they used both smokes. And now it's been Smith, he has to reposition into a better spot. S3 is going to throw that lurk smoke in. And after that, I imagine the burst will come through. Typically you see players spam straight through that. G2 had a strat of their own where they did actually wait for the spam to come through and then they'd walk in with flash bursts coming through. And Existence gets taken through the smoke.
Asilian gets the opening kill. Asilian, a double play, as he will find the follow-up frag, eliminates Smiths. This is good. This has worked out very well for them. Finally goes down as his overconfidence won't pay off. Shocks will slay him. But there's only 3 players left for G2, and they're going to be hard-pressed to retake this. Luckily, they all 3 have kits. They have rifles. Kenny's on the AWP.
That's a good Molotov. Body's going to be forced out.
Oh, just hold.
He took a lot of damage. He's got a dink off as well.
Just defends there. Plays from the position before he gets the tag out and goes down. And that only just makes it a 3-on-3.
Flash comes through, Mertz. He's turned it. He didn't fully turn it though. Body gets the first kill. Freiburg returns it. 2v2. It's a matter of time though. There's only 6 seconds left.
Best tag saves it. Goes out for the peak. That is an 11-4 half in favour of Heroic. Considering what we saw on their T side yesterday versus Wendigo. Much, much better. Improvements galore. Mertz popping off. Tag having some critical rounds. Asilian stepping up there when he needed to. Looks very good. And the odds have changed rapidly.
Yeah, it's a complete contrast, right? They lost 11-4 last time. Now winning 11-4.
Yeah.
Imagine how different that round goes though if Asilian doesn't get that first kill in Existence through smoke and then the kill on Smiths, right? We usually see them get at least 2 kills towards that B side.
Yeah.
Instead they got nothing and it still went down to a 2v2. So G2, they need this pistol, I feel. Because they've still got 3 more pauses to use. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them come through if they do lose the pistol. They'll start properly taking every single round as it comes, just pause it, talk about everything. But hopefully it doesn't come to that, I suppose. I hope G2 do get a footing in, because I like to see a close game out of this. Because this map is normally quite good for them.
Yeah, normally. And it's weird that they're actually struggling so heavily here. And Heroic, considering how slow and sluggish they looked yesterday, it's been a whole lot better. They've stepped up. Can they continue though? That is going to be the question. As we switch things up now and change sides, where is it going to go from here? It's 11-4. The pistol round could give G2 that second win they need.
It's going to be a big pistol and Existence on the T side. You got to hope his IGI and his calls are going to be really good because they need him right now. They really do. He hasn't been playing too well mechanically this game. But hopefully the calling side of it will not be affected. So it was weird, I was looking at the stats for this G2 lineup, and with the 5 players they've got right now, they've only won 14 of the games that they've played together, losing 24. It's a pretty tragic stat. Like most of the lineups you have, they do tend to have a positive win rate because you probably play against some tier 2, 3 teams. But G2 on the other hand, they had the Major, they've had Cologne, New York. They've basically played tier 1 every game and it shows in the win rate.
Yeah, they've not really had time to actually get any confidence wins or build any early wins against weaker opponents, but we are into it. Round 16, the burst going to come through. G2 trying to take that early long control. Freiburg does get first contact as he begins to fall back. Going to slide over towards CT. They get across the cross, but he does get the dink off. Smith's low now, only on 4 HP. But it is going to be a 5 versus 5 retake here on the A site then. But look towards long. Existence gets the first pick. He's able to punish Modi. That is a nice pick.
There's going to be a lot of players coming through that long door. Cillian's going to flash them to go through. Freiburg, the lone players towards short, already losing the fight there. It's all an Existence really towards long here. He's got a lot of people to deal with.
Oh, they don't realise where he is though. Oh, he had the drop on them. Luckily enough, Kenny S was able to rotate around and Mertz. And it is only a Asilian and S-Attack that remain. The USP coming through. Do they have the pistol prowess to win this round? Asilian would have to make it the ace, and he is not going to. Kenny S comes through with a hat-trick towards the end, and that is G2 picking up the pistol round they highly needed.
Yeah, it's very needed. And started off with Existence there. He gets that first kill on the back. Imagine how different it is if he loses that fight and 4 people just swarm at long and take that full battle at long range. So Heroic. 3 HE grenades.
Very interesting.
And all 3 of them going towards long, hoping that a player would be baited into it. Shocks. Knows there's no reason for him to be in the doors there. Doesn't take a single point damage, so that's $900 out the window, essentially. You see a full rotate there. I think there's 1 player towards short and then the other 2 just playing mid. So it depends, where do G2 actually want to have their end goal be? You don't decide early on against ecos. Not often, at least. The question is, what are they thinking of doing? You can see Existence. You could potentially get caught off depending on what Freiburg does, I'm sure. B is the call. And he does not get caught off. Existence gets another entry into the round.
Good play from Existence there.
Oh no.
Spam down from Modi. You will only find one. Smith's just traded back with the MP5, but considering they've made this round quite costly for them, forcing 3 weapons off them already, and Mertz is still left in a 1-on-2. And he spooked them, Ben. They've run away. They don't fancy going to B anymore. And Shox tries to hut off the rotate, but the rotate, rather, as he will grab the AK. Mert's going to come back towards mid. Shox is holding it.
Yeah. There was a kill towards mid from Shox on the rotate. This team. Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's vintage Shox.
Even if Mertz had armor there, it wouldn't have made a
Wouldn't
difference.
No.
Instant flick. Shox now on 16 kills. It's gone quite unnoticed, really. Yeah. We've been looking at, there was a round from Body, there's a round from like Smiths. And even Kenny at the pistol. But he's got going, 16 kills.
Yeah, and that's a big impact frag round as well. Very, very crucial there.
A lot of players towards mid here. Existence, oh, that's not a good start. The nade can do quite a bit if it goes far enough. Kenny, unfortunately, not.
But the MP5 from that distance.
Here comes the Mach 10. Smiths actually steals those away from Shox. Unfortunately, that investment not going to get much use by the looks of it.
No, he won't actually get a chance to. And Smiths goes down as well. That's the tag was slain with a USP.
They want to feed the SMGs. You can see the movement on the map. Kenny wants to get use of it, but he's so low. Body ends up taking the kill just in case he does die. And he gets an AK out of it as well, so that's not too bad. 11-7. Big round though. Mertz can't go armor with his up. Kenny, full of everything. Full armor, full grenades. Let's see who can win this battle. We've been praising Mertz all game. He's been playing it really well. Can Kenny come into his own here? They're playing 4 people towards A.
Oh no.
If the long take will have shied them off enough, they could potentially hold that investment as player-wise, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Freiburg's committed, he's got long. Means Heroic can get those players back towards mid-side. It was a bit scary for a bit there. But instead, G2 looks like they'll be taking towards short. So this is probably going to be a big execute just straight off the bat, I'm sure. You can see the smoke's getting pulled out. They've got a Mach 10 to play with as well, Shox. I wouldn't be surprised if they did CK RAS here, which is where you normally see a player jump down into CT and then rush the corner. But instead, all 3 rifles going across. Shock's been trusted to lurk, but Cillian, he can get a kill there. Doesn't get it! A big kill from Smith. Plant will go down and Shox is lurk. It's all a matter of time here. You'll hear Modi rotating. If he's able to pick off the lurk, he can close that CT gap. It'll be a very hard retake.
Well, the retake is everything, and Shoxy with a backstab could be so lucrative. If he can get this opening frag, it would be huge. The awkward spam though, and he's blind as well because of the flashbang. He's forced to retreat, and they go 1-for-1 in the trade so far. But Smiths peeks up, gets the headshot on Mertz. They tap the bomb to try and force the face. Shox finally gets that kill, but Freiburg is playing phenomenally. He jumps on the bomb, he's not got a kit. Shox, it just depends if he jumps it.
He doesn't think he held it.
He just baited him, Ben.
That's beautiful from Shox. The fact that he's actually thought he's not going to stick it. I'm going to trust he has no kit.
He's brained him.
That's so good from Shox. And he gets the kill as well. That's crazy.
That's wild. Such a smart call there from Shox.
Wow, that's a big call to make, you know, to believe that he probably doesn't have a kit.
It's bold, but it pays off, and that describes Shox.
And G2, that's a big buy-around to get. The scoreline closes in. Modi buys a scout, which is an interesting buy. You know, he's going to get 3,500, so he does still get a decent buy next round, regardless of outcome. But it's a bold one. And Shox, I mentioned it on Inferno yesterday, that we saw. He was very trusted to be lurker.
Yeah. And
he's doing the same on this map. It's quite unusual. You'd think that it kind of shows that the star power in that pack that they will have, it won't actually be that good.
No. It's interesting. A lot of the setups we see from G2, actually the double nade as well, bring them so low before they even get contact. And there we have it. I mean, that's just a whitewash of a round, really. So Heroic going to lose this one pretty damn quickly, and G2 will take it, making it a 9-round pickup for them, taking the score to 11-9. But yeah, G2, it is quite unorthodox in how they play. Obviously, sticking players that you'd imagine that have the little bit of a weaker firepower towards sites together, and the Wolfpack doesn't really have the players that you'd think would be the damage dealers there, and sort of Shox, Kenny S, and Body.
Yeah, because you know, Body, he's been trusted with that entry flag overall, right? Smith supporting him, Existence to be there, IGLing pack, and Kenny AWPing it. But the fact that Shox is, you know, the one performing for them right now. Your lurker is the one playing the best. It's, you know, like NVS of old, really. That's not a good long take, but it's traded instantly. Shox this time with the back gets that trade. The long has been taken. The lurk this time will be Smiths. This is something I saw a lot more of against Hellraisers. And he was doing really well with it. Normally getting a kill, maybe 2 whenever he did it.
That's what you'd expect as well. Smiths, normally the player in that lurker role a little bit more consistent, sort of, you know, does have a good approach from the back view into the game. Shock's normally one that does like to try and bring the chaos and run away with things. And towards mid, Smiths don't actually get contact here. Modi is just playing on the close angle. They're making a little bit of noise. They do rotate round. Kenny's there to assist him. They have utility if they want to try and flash him out and go for the push through, but instead, they go up short.
Yeah, Modi's heard all of those movements there. He heard them push towards short. He heard Kenny scope in. They can guarantee there is an AWP towards short. There's also probably a rifler. The question is, where does Body pre-aim here? There's a player in CT, and he already knows off that instance there. That's a free kill. He doesn't actually get it.
Goes back, still couldn't kill Asilian. Eventually, Asilian does go down. But Estatag and Modi are still alive and kicking. Bomb's going to get planted by Kenny S. Modi with a flick over, takes down Smiths, and Kenny in a very awkward position here.
Ooh, we nearly landed that.
My goodness, that would have been an awful flick if he had connected it.
Look at Body's rotate there. Really smart. He had a Molotov as well. He knows this is a better position to be in if he can actually use it. There is kit, and there's a smoke though on Modi. Normally you'd think this round is probably lost as a CT with a long plant. But Body's rotate. They get the kill towards long as well. That's not good for the T side. And the smoke misses. It doesn't even cover Body's angle. This is round 1, I think.
Yeah, this round has to be over here. Take it 11 to 10.
Get on the bomb. He's actually got on it, but it's too late.
Yeah, surely not.
Surely.
Ooh.
Yeah, just about too late. That was awfully close. If he found it a bit quicker, he's won the round.
Body's going to try and recover the AWP as well, but doesn't have time, unfortunately.
So a much better round there. I mean, Body looked a bit shaky to start with, like that CT battle with Asilian. He thought it was a free kill. But they do take the round. They're getting through these rounds so scrappily, if you think about it, right? But the money's building up. On the CT side, they can't really get a good buy-in. They've got 2 scouts here. CZ armor on Asilian. This should be tied up at 11.
Oh,
what a peak.
Sharks with a peak. That is filthy. That's
you
vintage
hate to
Sharks.
see it, don't you? From that angle, you're just like, I guess he...
The little crouch face.
He's destroyed me then.
It is rough when you're on the receiving end of that.
And Mertz, he's quite aggressive with his deagle here. How wide is he willing to take this face? Go straight into existence's eyes. Shark should be able to follow up. He gets the info. Doesn't quite get the kill though. Now, these anti-ecos from G2, they've kind of been like a split and pick really. Like, you know, everybody across the map just getting kills.
Yeah.
When they want to.
They do just seem to divide and go for a bit of a default and try and hope they can get a split and pick. But Modi makes it work because he gets the scout kill on Body, grabs the AK, but they've got A site. They will win the round. This should take it 11-11, but can Modi do any more, or will Smiths find him? The cash is low on overside. It's not fantastic yet for G2. It's still building.
Yeah, if Smiths had more money, he'd probably be a bit more aggressive on this hunt. Instead, he's trying to wait it out, see if he hears anything from Modi. However, playing out this car position right here behind the hay bale, if he were to get hit, that aim punch would come in. It'd be a very rough situation for him to be in. So it's just a matter of time, really. If Smith does want to hunt this, he'll probably end up going through window. It's just a matter of timing. If Modi actually looks towards window, he probably gets the kill. But it doesn't look like he is until it's potentially too late. I don't think Smith really wants to do it. He doesn't think it's worth it. Shox is crunching through a tunnel, sorry. But it's not going to be in time, though. No. I got to be thinking they have to hunt that a bit more aggressively. Especially if you're Shox or Existence, right? They both had good money.
They had more cash, yeah.
Like, Smiths has held that accent, like, he cannot go this way. Like, I've guaranteed that. You'd have only gone tunnels, T-spawn. But instead he keeps the AK. I think he dropped the North across as well. So the double AWP comes out. It's retake and Mertz.
Here comes the push as the utility is going to get thrown out here. G2 trying to take a fast hit towards the long area. They can boost over blue, but Smiths gets the first kill. They are going to go for the boost over as well. Asilian, will he spot this out? They're on the angle. They find the first. If they don't suspect there was a second player, it could be so huge, Ben.
Shox is in such a good position.
Oh, he should have played the arm. He didn't see the arm. 4x3. He just didn't realise. Blended into the box. Shox gets the kill on Asilian. And it's back into a 3-on-3.
Look how spread the map is right now. Existence is just holding outside tunnel. Kenny close mid doors. Shox has long. On a CT side defense, you're just thinking, where are they actually going? right now, because we know Shocks was out long. But otherwise, we have no clue. Kenny's tempting fate though. S3 he's been holding this catwalk angle. Oh, the timing. He saw him, 3 HP and Kenny's still alive though. And the boost shot's going to come in. It depends if it's the rifler, bad news. Instead it's the AWP and he gets the kill as well. And Shocks, he might just want to dry peek this. But if he does, Mertz is holding the angle.
His teammate rotates around, so Shocks in existence. The duo. Gonna go for the run boost over. He can pop the flash as well.
That's really well done. All the way across, not even halfway.
Yeah, fully made it.
They've only just found out, I think, that there is a player on site. He's actually going to play it for long.
Oh, the push coming through. He's not in close CT. That's Modi that's been able to push up. He's got support close behind by S-Tag as well. The Mertz is on short as they all slowly move in.
Oh, he just got around the corner, I think.
Oh, Existence takes down Modi with the first frag. It is a double AWP retake now, and they're allowed the kill. Shocks kills Mertz. This has to be the 12th round picked up. There's no way. S-Attack might find the first, but he shouldn't get the second. Existence knows there isn't much time. Just has to hide, really. It's an AWP on S-Attack.
Surely not.
Expects it, pushes in, gets the tag, but it's no frag. There's no time, though, Ben. He's got to retreat.
Good round again from S-Attack, but it's just, sadly not if he lives with 1 HP as well. He keeps the AWP and armor, as well as that kit. But Existence and Shocks, the combination, the two that have been believed in this cause, they win the round, and I imagine that's Heroic now calling a timeout because they need it right now. They've lost so many rounds in succession. They won this half 11-4. They've lost 8 in a row.
Yeah, Heroic going to go for the pause here to try adjust and do something, because yesterday it was their T side, but they struggled. Now on their CT half, it just seems like they can't get it together again. It just isn't working out. They are going to keep the double AWP set up in play. We have 2 MP5s and 1 M4 there coming through. For G2, they're looking quite commanding. They've got a good read on these rounds. They've been composed, even on 2-on-X situations. They're still pretty much in the driving seat for the majority of it. So definitely a step up for the French.
The issue is for Heroic, even if they win a round, unless it's with all 5 alive, that money will be fragile. Like we always mention, the CT side, it's so hard to build money up. But when you win rounds, you need to win them in succession. You can't win one and lose one, because the money reset. The round loss bonus goes down to 1400 from 34. It's a rough situation to be in. And Shock's going to get boosted again inside the longhouse. He's actually fully peeking into the gap as well. So if Ryber were to cross to try and get behind the door, he'd probably be caught out here. Instead he won that. Shock's now holding for that push and letting his teammates go towards short. Asilian holding that angle on short. Normally we call it Shocks.
Yeah.
And usually you play there, you wait for a team to flash you, you then push around the corner. However, Mertz used his flash a bit early for Asilian to then Molotov there. So this is more of a drop angle now. He'll get the information towards short, he'll know they've probably taken it. He then has to give it up. So you can see the grenades across the board, right? Mertz has a Molotov. Otherwise, there's no grenades on this A site. So it's a rough situation. If G2 were to execute, they could have full range here. Other than being shot at, there's no grenades to stop them or slow them down. And you can see Heroic are quite paranoid that there could be a player lurking out long, like late on in the round. Because Shocks, he succeeded in doing it earlier on in the game. Could be very rough.
Body.
Timing.
Yeah, beautifully done. Gets the execution, takes down Asilian as he finds that initial frag. G2, they want this 13th round. They're hungering for it. Body! You feel like you should be able to get the follow-up there, but S-Attack was ready. Knocks him down, but they have already secured the A site, and the retake is going to be awkward. It's a 4-on-4, but they already lose a man. S-Attack's been punished by Kenny S. Shocks gets the headshot on Freiburg, and they're all falling to pieces, Ben.
Very weird decision from Heroic there, if I'm honest, right? They played retake, and as I mentioned, they had no grenades left. You play retake with no grenades. You got the 2 kits. You had 2 AWPs as well. And that first kill from Body probably settled the round, if I'm honest. He gets that lure kill towards Asilian. It meant the A side defense. Mertz fell all the way back. He was like, okay, there's nobody actually here to help me. I need to go. And they're hunting Body towards B as well. This is a quick punt. And he will be found. He doesn't even look at the player. He tries to play the hidden ninja, and unfortunately, sucks at it.
Yeah, does not work. I mean, at least Mertz survived, so it's an AWP.
Yeah. But you know, you can't really buy around it. Like, you've got maximum loss bonus. If you keep forcing into these rounds, you'll have that same situation play out where you have no grenades left. I'll be easy pickings for G2 again. So this time they're going to boost short. And they're not even like attempting to fight long. But this time Shox doesn't go out there. Instead they're looking towards mid. And Mertz got boosted up and he gets the opening kill. It's probably the first time in a long time we've seen Heroic get the opening kill.
It's not been fantastic for him at all, and they do swarm out, try and take control towards the B site. The headshot from Modi as he gets the adjustment on Smiths, grabs the AK, and he does slay with it as well. Modi hits the DECK, Modi carries on, punishes all of them as they go down. That is a hat-trick round for him, and a round picked up for Heroic, but that's off the back of one man popping off.
Yeah, 3 kills for Modi. That first Eagle kill kind of set the pace. That B-Rush got halted completely, and as well as that, Mertz getting boosted to a short, gets the opening kill. But now, this is where it's scary though. G2 still have another buyout even if they lose this round. Heroic on the other hand, if they lose, the money's not great. And the other side of things really is, because they lived with 3 players, they'll probably be able to get a buy round out. But if they lose the next 2, it's probably game over anyway. They are trusting S3 side with the AWP, or the second AWP, I suppose. They did that on train as well. I thought it was quite peculiar because he's so good with the rifle. It makes you wonder like, why, you know, switch that situation. Modi is capable of using an AWP.
Yeah.
So why is it not him falling in that situation? Very peculiar.
Side control going to be taken as they try and go for their push up. Smith's boosted up on top of the box.
Mertz is trying to go aggressive to get some information, but unfortunately Smiths pulls off. The flash will get Mertz. He actually stays on the angle. He did leg Smiths there as well. But instead they're battling it long. Mertz is on his own on the floor. Silly needs to get these kills, otherwise this round is in jeopardy.
He tries, but he doesn't succeed. Goes down as Shox and Smiths get a kill apiece, and it's just on Estertag and Modi to try and bail out the day. If they can bring them back from the jaws of defeat, they're currently being crunched upon. 20 seconds left on the clock. They take the A site. Modi moves up, looks around, sees what he can actually discover. But his vision's restricted. Shox holds towards Car as well, and the CTs look a bit panicked then. I think they might call it quits on this one.
I don't know if Shox saw Modi exit there. If he didn't, Modi should be okay. He might be able to live this round. But otherwise, as I mentioned, they need to keep these guns alive. Like S3 Tech, he can drop a gun for, you know, a silly in this situation. Modi, he needs to survive himself. They'll be able to get the double up in again, if they want it. But right now it feels like they're just getting completely outplayed when it comes to these sites. They're just getting fully pushed off angles. And G2 are just taking control without any, you know, action from Heroic. It was 11-4 at the half. 10-1 half right now.
Yeah, it's not amazing. Heroic's choice is to go for the double AWP though, hoping that that will give them the extra edge they need. I don't know if it's really going to work out for him. I mean, S-Tag has been doing very effective jobs with the rifle. Now switches over to the AWP. Can he S towards mid? What can he actually pick up? Nothing. No early tags, but gets a small bit of info. Tons of utility transferred from either team early on at B as well.
The scary bit for G2 is the last time they went towards that B site, they were mowed down. This might be... Oh, that Molotov's huge though. It's actually landed and Kenny gets the kill. The instant trade is there. Modi, he needs to come up big, otherwise this site is fully lost and Shox will be able to get lurk kills at mid.
There goes the push. They're going to drop the smokes and try and roll their way out. The retake, looking to see if they can make this one work as the shots go through. But nothing actually yet. Shox as well. He's critical. So important to the round and the spam. Works out in the end. He gets away after killing Mertz, stays alive, and he can actually delay even further here, Ben, as the rotate comes around. They're now dubious about this.
The save call has to come through. They lose that first player, yeah. Mertz, he knew he was there. He Molotoved him out. He misses the shot, and Shox, he managed to run away while shooting, killing him. Freiburg had no time to actually get behind it. And that's the 15th round of the ball for G2. Like, S3 Tech, he can get a buyout himself, but Mertz, he has no money. Vasilian's going to have to drop in the AWP and actually take the hit himself.
And they're now taking that conscious decision as well to not only play for overtime, but because of the rule set here, realize at most you can only walk away with 2 points from this series. Well, this opening map at least, as one team will get that consolation point if they force it into OT. G2, I mean, they're looking set up, and damn mighty fine to actually close this out before we even get to that scenario, Ben. They've got tons of money. Even if they do start losing rounds, they can buy up until the end of the game here.
It's a very rough situation, and Shox has been leading them. Like we mentioned, he was on 16 kills. At the time, he was matching up to S3 Tag. He's already on 28 now, more than a kill a round. Very, very good position. And Shox has got a second AWP here to spam the doors when they do try and cross. But instead, S3 Tag, he goes to that pick towards lower. They got the double AWP in. Brazilian only gets famous, but they've rushed B because of how slow that cross was. They just ran straight into B. Modi gets one kill and he lives.
Distance tagged, but Modi will trade it back to the M4, gets the kill. Brazilian set ablaze, brought down to just 22 HP, but through the wall, Kenny with a flick. That's sublime.
So even though it's a 4v3 advantage for Heroic, still not quite theirs. There's a lot of grenades available for G2 to use on this post plan. And the same goes for Heroic. They can use a lot to get into this site. But it depends how quick are they going to do it. Because the players have to get through. It's Shox, he's been playing so well. Kenny as well. Shox is planning to go aggressive. That flash comes through, another flash comes through. He's got all the players in front of him!
Shox with the double kill might have just set this in stone that this round's going to be over. They did use the Molotov that forced Kenny out of position, but he finds the headshot. The trade's there, but Body had his back. Backs up his teammate, and that is the round one, and the map taken by G2. They get themselves 3 points from the opening map here. We said Dust2 was definitely in their favor. However, Heroic looked great on their T side. Unfortunately, they just couldn't replicate that when they switched over to their CT side then. G2 manhandled them.
Quite a weird one. I've always noticed that as a player sometimes. If you have a really good half on the side, you normally fail at.
Yeah.
If you then have a horrible half on the side, you're normally okay on. So in that instance, Heroic, another classic situation. 11-4 half, losing 16-12. It's a Heroic, like, you know, it's a horrible spree, right? You know, 12-1 loss on the CT side. I don't really know what to say. Like they looked better on the T side than yesterday.
Yeah.
We gave them a lot of praise for that. And the CT was a bit better from them yesterday, but today, nothing was working.
It just didn't happen, and that is the sort of the biggest standpoint to take away from that. I mean, Heroic just looked a bit lost, really, on their CT half there. And G2, as soon as they got their number and they woke up, they started performing. Shox pretty much saves the day in that last round there to close it out. No overtime, full 3 points picked up. That's going to be big for G2, and Operation Win, maybe it does start now, but if it was just a day late.
Possibly. I mean, you mentioned the round that Shox saved with that last one. Don't forget the round where he had a Mach 10 as well, where he predicted Freiburg will not stick that defuse.
Brained him.
And Freiburg, that would be incredibly annoying as a player. It's like, why does he not think I have a kit? And it's just like, that was it. That was the round done. But Heroic, they need to remember this is actually a 2-map series. You know, they can still come out of this with another 3 points. However, at the back of their minds, they need to think we need to go over Dust2 again because it's not looking good.
No, definitely still some issues. I mean, it looked better than yesterday, but they haven't smoothed over all the cracks. And that does mean Inferno is the next map. That's what we're going to be going to after the break. Enjoy the replays for the meantime, and we'll see you on Inferno. Can Heroic try and set themselves up? We'll find out then.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, The Road to Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.